Hello, my name is Mr. Williamson. I am the AP US History teacher at Roosevelt High School. And the purpose of this video is just to kind of give you an idea of what we've been doing so far and kind of what to expect for the rest of the semester. Um, Hoping that you know that conferences, parent-teacher conferences, are Monday and Tuesday night, October 25th and 26th. Monday night is in person at Roosevelt High School from 4 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. Should be in the gym. And Tuesday night is virtual, so if you'd like to have me contact you, please sign up in the Sign Up Genius that was sent through email. I'll also send it out via Remind. So just kind of let you know a little bit about myself. This is my 5th year at Roosevelt High School. This is my 4th year teaching AP US History. I spent 11 years in Lenox, 9 years as a teacher, 2 years as assistant principal. All of my teaching time I spent teaching US history. It is my favorite subject by far, and I'm so glad that I get to teach AP US history because I absolutely, it is the class that I love planning for, I love prepping for, and I love researching. I love getting ready for it, and I love the type of students that are involved in AP US history. I can tell you that I have absolutely had a blast so far this year with your student. I am also the golf coach, as you can see, and so I spent a lot of time in September gone for golf matches and did a lot of independent work, but I also had a substitute teacher who had taught AP US history in the past, and so she was just a natural. And so far in the last 2 weeks that I've been back, I can't say enough about the type of students that we have at Roosevelt High School and the type of students that are taking AP US history. So with that being said, I'm just going to give you a little update on what we've been covering so far. So AP US history goes by time periods. There are 9 time periods that we cover. The first 5 will be covered in the first semester, and the last 4 will be covered in the second semester. So the first time period is a very short one. Basically covers what the Americas look like pre-Columbian, and so what the settlements were, the different Native American tribes, either in America or what we know of as America today, or what we know of as South America or even Mexico today. So that's kind of what our first unit was about. Second unit was English settlements and French settlements, kind of looking at how Europeans settled in present-day United States. And so we looked at the impacts with colonization, with the native tribes that were already there, and the relationships that happened and occurred during that time. So that was time period 1. And 2, that was the first test of the year. I always combine those two because they're very short. The third time period was the one we just finished. We just had a test last week, and that covered French and Indian War, leading up to the Revolution and independence, as well as kind of getting into our Constitution, what kind of the pillars of our Constitution are, and why they did that. Some of the relationships with Enlightenment writings and all that. So that was our last unit. So far, the kids have absolutely killed it. They've been very responsive. They've worked incredibly hard, and I'm very appreciative of that. We also have covered, in AP US history, we have a lot of writing. So there are 3 types of writing that we do. SAQ, which is short answer questions, basically a paragraph. It's not the typical short answer question where it's 1 sentence. It's at least 2 to 3 sentences long. The second one that we're looking at right now is LEQ, long essay question, and that's a 5-paragraph essay that they have to write. They have to create their own thesis, which is a historically defensible claim, and they have to back up that thesis with evidence. And that's kind of what we are working on. Right now, we're really, really hitting hard the thesis development, how to develop a proper thesis for AP history, which is a lot different than a thesis for a science class or any other class. So we're learning how to write AP history style. The third type of essay that we do is a DBQ, a document-based question. Students are given 7 documents that they have to use in their argument. So it's very similar to an LEQ. The only thing with an LEQ is they have to come up with their own historical significance, whereas DBQ, they actually get documents that they have to use as part of their argument. And we're learning about those right now as well. So those are the 3 types of writing. We just finished, like I said, our third unit. We're now on to our fourth unit, which covers kind of the 1800 to 1848. So kind of the lost time in U.S. history. Not a lot of people understand about what went on there, where we talk about maybe the era of good feelings, or if we talk about the Jacksonian era, Jeffersonian democracy, and some of those things that are kind of the forgotten piece of American history. After that, we go into time period 5, which a lot of that covers the Civil War. Apologize, my video stopped. So time period 5 is basically covering Civil War, causes of the Civil War, leading into the Civil War, sectionalism, slavery. Obviously, we're going to cover slavery at length, as well as Reconstruction. I guess the most important piece of that is not necessarily the Civil War, not necessarily the battles, which I know kids love and parents love too, but it's more the kind of what happens afterwards. How do we come back together as a nation, and then the impact of that on today? How do we see the impacts of Reconstruction and really the failures of Reconstruction today? So that's where we will end with this semester, is talking about is through time period 5. So my goal is to get through Reconstruction, and then we do have a semester test before the next second semester, where we're getting into time period 6, 7, 8, and 9. Time period 7 is a beast that basically covers imperialism all the way through World War II. So we spend a lot of time on that. A couple of things that I think that's important for you to know. I'm assuming a lot of you probably have Infinite Campus and check grades constantly. I know the kids do. One of the things that I do with AP US History is I have test corrections. If they didn't like what they got on a test, actually, I prefer anybody, regardless if you liked your grade or you didn't like your grade on a test, doing test corrections. Our goal is learning. Our goal is not a grade. Our goal is, I could care less if every single student gets an A. I'm perfectly fine with that. I know it's not an easy class, and so I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't care about grades. I want them to learn. My goal is to have them learn. And in order to do that, they have to know what they did wrong. And so I do test corrections. And so for every question that they get wrong in the test, I have them go in, find evidence that proves that the right answer is the right answer. That way, not only do they know what the right answer should have been, but they also learn the correct answer as they did the research. So we have that. Otherwise, late work, I accept late work until the end of the semester. If you have any questions about the class, about what's going on, what are we doing, how prepared do you think your student is, please don't hesitate to email me. If you want to talk, conferences are obviously Monday and Tuesday. We can talk then. But if you want me to call you anytime, just email me, set up a time to talk, and I would love to talk with you regarding your student and how they're doing, or how prepared they are. Our goal at the end of the year is the AP US History exam. That is May 6th at 8 a.m. And that's kind of what we lead up to. I encourage every student to take it. I'm pretty sure every student right now is signed up for it. It's potential college credit if you get a 3, 4, or 5. In the past, my students have done very well, well above the state and local or state and national averages for 3s, 4s, and 5s. So I will do my best to get them prepared to get at least a 3. A lot of the 4s and 5s is going to depend on how hard they are willing to work and how hard they're willing to study. So that's all I have for you tonight. I look forward to talking with you at conferences, or by phone or by email. Have a great night.